Good afternoon and welcome to all who are listening today. I thank each of you for taking the time to listen to this message concerning our COVID protocols for the upcoming school year. First, the Yadkin County Board of Education met Monday night, and at that meeting it was decided that face coverings will be optional for students and employees. This decision on optional masking applies to both schools and classrooms. However, there are a couple of situations where optional face coverings do not apply. The first is on our school buses. We have researched the transportation piece since the meeting Monday night. There is a federal order in place that requires face coverings for those using public transportation, and it specifically mentions school buses. This federal order supersedes all local and state regulations and requirements. The decision regarding optional face coverings applies to any high school courses students take that are taught by early college staff at the Yadkin Center of Surrey Community, but it does not apply to college courses taught by college instructors. Decisions concerning the early college campus are made by officials at Surrey Community College. Currently, face coverings for students, employees, and visitors are required on any campus of Surrey Community College, including the Yadkin Early College. This will also include any Starmount or Fort Bush High School student who is taking in-person college courses on any campus of Surrey Community College. There will be students and employees in our schools who will feel more comfortable and safe by wearing face coverings. If you're unvaccinated, I encourage you to wear a face covering. Also, if you're unvaccinated, I encourage you to consider getting the COVID-19 vaccination if you are a viable candidate. It is important to know that vaccinated individuals, including students, do not have to be quarantined if they are considered to be a contact with a positive person. Additionally, if there are students who wear masks, they should never be made to feel singled out by other students or anyone on any of our school campuses. They should feel comfortable and supported, and we have a responsibility to take care of them, and we will do so. As much as possible, classrooms will be set up to provide 3 feet of social distancing for students and 6 feet for adults. Distancing has proven to be effective in terms of keeping people safe. As teachers begin setting up classrooms next week, I've asked them to give great thought to how they can organize their classrooms to provide appropriate spacing for students. We do not plan to conduct temperature checks or ask screening questions of students this year. This did not prove to be an effective method of early identification of students who were sick this past year and is no longer a recommendation by the Department of Health and Human Services. We will continue to thoroughly clean buses and lower bus windows after each route. Seating charts will be strictly adhered to on buses. This will help greatly if we should have to conduct contact tracing on a bus. We also plan to begin allowing more students to eat in our cafeterias. Principals will work with our school nutrition director on schedules that combine eating in classrooms and the cafeteria to ensure that cafeterias are not overcrowded. I've encouraged principals to work with parents who want their students to have a virtual option if they're worried about COVID. The Yadkin Virtual Academy is an option for students in grades K through 5, and families can reach out to the coordinator, Abby Salas, if they're interested in enrolling in the virtual option. I have asked middle and high school principals and assistant principals to work with students and families on a case-by-case basis if they have a serious documented medical issue or concern. Earlier in this message, I mentioned vaccinations. We will be offering a vaccine clinic on August 16th from 3 to 6 p.m. at each middle school. Parents will be able to get their students vaccinated for COVID-19, Tdap, and meningococcal if they choose. Students will need to be accompanied by a parent or guardian in order to be vaccinated. They will also be able to access the standard Tdap booster, which is required for 7th grade, and standard meningococcal booster which is a requirement for seniors. This booster was initially required last year, but was pushed back by state health authorities in light of the pandemic. Now, last year we had to quarantine individual students. We also had to quarantine entire classrooms. And because COVID is still with us, I anticipate that that will be the case this year. Under the current guidelines, students who are quarantined have to remain in quarantine for 10 days and cannot return to school with a negative test after 7 days. Quarantine time frames for students are unchanged from last school year. However, students who have been vaccinated do not have to be quarantined if considered to be a contact with a positive person. I feel certain that some of you may have questions. Your student's principal will contact you in the coming days concerning procedures specific to your child's school. Along with this video, we have provided a link via our social media outlets and on our website that you can use to submit questions you have regarding our safety procedures for the upcoming school year. We are also working to develop a frequently asked questions document and will release it in the coming days. We did not know what we would be faced with when we opened our doors last year. We took the necessary steps to reopen, and I believe our students were better for it. This year I know we will face uncertainty, but we will once again open our doors and welcome our students back. I have no doubt we will handle things as we always do, with professionalism, understanding, and compassion for students and for one another. We need to take care of one another, support each other, and work together. If we do, I have no doubt we will be successful. Thank you again for listening and for your support of our students. Take care.